Hi friends. So Miss Kristy here. I'll be sharing a very special PJ story time from my home to your home today. I hope everyone is doing very well. So today I'm going to be sharing a First Nation story, one of my favorites, and this comes from the Kalispell of Idaho. I originally heard this from a talented storyteller named Joseph Bruchac. I heard him perform live many, many years ago, and I fell in love with his story, and this is my version of his story that I have told lots and lots of times over the years, and I wanted to share again with you today. So here we go. Many, many years ago, before the world was done being created, there were people who lived on the world, and there were animals. And the people and the animals at this time, they could talk to each other. Because the animals, they all had magic, and they could do things that animals today maybe can't do. The people really loved the animals. They would go to them and ask them for advice, and the animals would help them with their problems. Now, I want to tell you about one of those animals today before we get started. It's very important. This animal right here. This animal, he looks like a dog. He looks like a fox. He kind of also looks like a wolf, but he's not any of those things. This is Coyote. Now, for those of you that know anything about coyotes, they are very tricky fellows, very interesting fellows. And this coyote, the first coyote, was no different. He was always sneaking around and playing tricks on people, and he also was very, very nosy. If somebody was doing something that was interesting to him, he would sneak up and try to find out what that was. It didn't matter where they were. It didn't matter what they were doing. And then once he found out what they were doing, he told everybody. Now, it's not always a bad thing to tell people things, but Coyote did not know when it was smart to keep his mouth shut or keep his mouth open. For example, if somebody fell down and got hurt really bad, of course you tell. You tell everybody that that person needs help. But if maybe you're throwing a surprise birthday party for somebody, you don't want anybody to tell about that birthday party until the surprise is ready. But Coyote would tell everyone. And he always wanted to know what people were doing, even if it were through a computer, and he could look and see what maybe you were doing at your house. And of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut. Hey, what are you doing? Are you watching cartoons? No, you're watching me. Are you wearing pajamas? Are you wearing Lightning McQueen pajamas? Oh, and you're wearing flowers all over your pajamas. And you have rainbows. Is that Daddy making a pizza? Can I have some of your pizza? Oh my goodness, he was so nosy. And people got really tired of him talking all the time, and they would just tell him, Coyote, no. You can kind of tell him that too, because I know he's being very nosy with you at your house. You can say it with me. Coyote, no. Man. Now, I said the world was not done. They had a sun up in the sky, the animals and the people, and they had water from lakes and rivers to drink, and they had lots of food and all kinds of really good things, but the one thing they were missing was a light, just a little soft night light up in the sky when the sun went down, when it was dark. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried to walk around when it was dark and there was no light. It doesn't work very well, does it? You kind of bump into things and you kind of walk around like this and you hope you don't stub your toe, but often you do. Well, everybody had been stubbing their toes and they were tired of it. So all the people got together. They said, we're going to make a light. So they got together. They got the smartest maker they knew, and she came in and she started to work. She started to hammer, boom, 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 boom. She started to saw, shing, 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 shing. She started to sand, shoo, 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 until it was done. She had the light to put up in the sky at night. Do you see what this is? She said, "This is called a moon. We're going to put it up into the sky." Way up in the sky. The people realized they might have a problem there because they didn't have any spaceships back then. No rocket ships. And the tallest ladder they had only went to the highest tree. It didn't go all the way up to the stars. Well, what could they do? They thought about it, and they thought about it, and they thought about it, and they thought, we can ask the animals. Remember the animals had magic? Maybe they could use their magic and get this moon up into the sky. So they went and asked the animals, and the animals said, "Oh, you have a moon to put up in the sky? Oh, such a good thing. We are so tired of stubbing our toes. Okay, we'll help you out. We can get one of the animals to volunteer and go into the moon and become the moon and hold the moon up into the sky. Just jump right up there and hold it there." Oh. Now one of the animals heard this. Oh, you remember him. Coyote looked around and he says, "You're gonna have somebody be the moon? And they're gonna go up into the sky? You know, if they went up into the sky, they could see everything. Everything in the whole world. Wouldn't that be great? I could know everything." And all the animals, they knew this was a bad idea. They didn't want Coyote knowing everything because he couldn't keep his mouth shut when he was supposed to. So they said, no. Now you remember how to do that? To tell Coyote no? Coyote, no. Man. Instead, they decided they were going to ask this animal. Do you see this guy? That's Bear. Bears are very good at knowing when to growl and when to be quiet. So, Bear climbed up into the moon and went to the top of the highest hill, and he was going to jump way up into the sky. Now, we're going to help him out. I want everybody at home, what we're going to do is we're going to say 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to say jump, okay? So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, jump! He jumped. Boop! That doesn't look very high, does it? It really wasn't. He only jumped that far off the ground. And then they realized something. Bears can't jump. They have these really big bare bottoms, and they can't make it up into the sky. Well, he just kind of hovered there, just off the ground. Now, the problem with that is the light shone directly into everybody's houses. Just kind of like when somebody drives by in a car and the car shoots the light right through the windows and it pokes you in the eyeballs. Ow. Well, they tried it for a night or two and they realized that they couldn't sleep with light poking them directly into the eyeballs all the time. So they said, "Okay, Bear, this isn't working. We need to get somebody else. So why don't you come down?" Which he did. Boink. Who else? We need somebody who can jump high, right? So they looked around to see who could jump high. Oh. What about me? I can jump. I can jump really high. I would be a good jumper. Let me go up into the moon, please. Boys and girls, we know what to tell Coyote, don't we? Coyote, no. Let's try that together. Coyote, no. Man. Oh. Instead, they got somebody else they knew could keep their mouth quiet when he needed to. They got this animal. This is deer. Oh, I know about deer. Deer are very good jumpers. Miss Kristy saw a deer jump in her backyard just the other day, went right over that big giant fence. So I know that deer can jump. So that was a pretty good choice. But we're going to need to help him get up into the moon, remember? So deer jumped into the moon, whoop, and went to the top of the highest hill. And let's count. 1, 2, 3, jump! Deer jumped. Boing! Oh my gosh. Deer went way up into the sky. Just right. Oh, what a good job. Now, if Deer had held very still, it would have been a good thing. He could have been the moon for a very long time. But deer have a hard time being still. Not when he was looking at that big giant sky full of stars and he wanted to jump to every single star. He started. Boing! Boing! Boing, boing, boing! He started jumping all over the sky. Boing, dong, 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 dong. And when the light was going all over the place, it was like a big strobe light, like a disco ball. And everybody, whenever they were trying to walk around, would be flashed in the eyes. Ah! And they said, Deer, you're poking us in the eyes lots of times. You can't be the moon if you're going to be jumpy like that. Deer, you need to come down. So Deer said, okay. And Deer jumped down, because jumping down is as fun as jumping up. Whee! Bonk. All right. We need somebody who can be quiet and somebody who can jump. So they thought about who they would send next. Oh, I can jump and I'll be quiet. I promise, I promise, I promise. Coyote. Coyote, we have talked about this. You cannot go up into the sky. Why not? You've never let me try being up in the sky before. You don't know if I could do a good job. You don't know. Well, maybe we don't. Actually, we haven't had him jump in the sky, have we? Maybe we should give him a chance, because he might do this differently. This is a very important job, so maybe he'll take it seriously. All right, Coyote. We're going to give you a chance. You get to try once, okay? This is your one chance. Okay. All right. So Coyote jumped into the moon. Wow! Look! Now you guys know what to do, right? To tell him to count and go up to the top. We're going to try that again. Ready? Are you up at the top of the hill, Coyote? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Boing! Hey, good job, Coyote. He's being very quiet. He's holding very still. He was doing a good job. He did a very good job for 1 whole month. And the reason he was doing a good job is because he was looking at everything. Well, after a while of looking at everything, he was getting more and more things that he had seen up inside of his head, and his head just was filling up and filling up and filling up, and he just felt the urge to get it out of his mouth. And it got more and more and more until finally, oh my goodness, guess what I've seen? I've seen all kinds of things. I've seen birds flying through the sky. I have seen cats running around in circles. I saw him. He took this guy's shoes the other day and he didn't even ask. Oh my goodness gracious. And guess what? She was eating all the cake at the birthday party. That was a surprise to Grandma. Grandma, don't tell anybody. It's your birthday coming up. Oh my gosh. Coyote could not keep his mouth shut. And he was loud, and nobody could sleep, and nobody wanted to hear all those things all the time. So they said, Coyote, you need to come down. And do you know what he said? Nope. No. Yes. Nope. Coyote, you need to come down right now. Nope. Coyote, if you don't come down, we're going to call your mama. Ooh. Nope. So they called Coyote's mama. And she walked up and she looked at him up in the sky and she said, Coyote, you come down here right now, young man. Coyote said, but Mama, I don't want to come down. Coyote, if I have to count to 3, oh, she was going to count to 3. You know when mamas mean business, they count to 3. I don't want to come down. 1. Mama, I don't want to. 2. Oh, Mama, everybody else gets to be the moon. 3. Oh, he came down. And she took him by his coyote ear. And she put him in the corner. Time out. But we still had a problem because we had no moon up in the sky. So we need somebody who can be quiet. We need somebody who can jump high. And we need somebody who can be very still. They found somebody who could do all of that. Rabbit. Rabbits are very quiet, and rabbits can jump. And I don't know if you've seen a rabbit when a fox goes by, but rabbits can be very still. So, Rabbit came along, doink, 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 jumped right in. And everybody counted to 3. 1, 2, 3, jump! Boom! She did a good job. She was up in the sky for 1 month. And the light was just right. And it was so quiet and so steady and so still. 2 months went by. She did a great job. 5 months went by. A whole year went by. She was doing great. 5 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. And you know what? She's still up in the sky today. You don't believe me? Have you ever took a good look at the moon when it's big and round up in the sky? Let's have a look. You know, if you look very carefully, you might just see the shape of a rabbit in the shadows of a great big moon. Little ears, just like hers. A little face, just like hers. A body all the way around with jumping feet, just like hers. Even a little bunny tail. If you ever get a chance to walk out after dark when the moon is big and round, look and see. You might just see it. Now, she likes to be a little silly. Sometimes she'll lay like this, and sometimes like this. But she's always there. Now, as for Coyote, even after all these thousands and thousands of years, Coyote tells the story of the time he was the moon. He misses it, and all of his children and all of those children's children still wish they could be up with the moon. So when the moon is big and round up in the sky, you'll always see Coyote standing at the top of the highest hill he can find, and he'll be howling to this day. And that's the end of that story. Thank you for spending story time with me. Bye.